A supervolcano isn't just a big volcano, it's a geological giant capable of releasing over 1,000 cubic kilometers of magma in a single eruption. That's hundreds of times more than Mount Vesuvius or Krakatoa. But unlike typical volcanoes, they don't rise as peaks. They form massive depressions called calderas, often tens of kilometers wide. They don't erupt, often maybe once every 50,000 to 100,000 years. But when they do, the entire planet feels it. A supervolcano eruption is not just a regional disaster, it's a planetary event. Ash, sulfur gases, and aerosols rise high into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight. The result of the eruption is the so-called volcanic winter. Global temperatures drop by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, crop failures and widespread famine, mass extinctions in flora and fauna, disruption of global air traffic and trade. Some scientists even suggest supervolcanoes may have triggered the decline of Neanderthals and near extinctions in human history. Yellowstone, USA. The most famous supervolcano on Earth is Yellowstone in the United States. Located in Wyoming, it looks like a stunning national park on the surface. But underground lies a magma reservoir stretching over 80 kilometers long and up to 16 kilometers deep. The caldera itself is 70 kilometers wide. Basically an underground city-sized void. It erupted 3 times in the past 2.1 million years. The last eruption was around 640,000 years ago and ejected about 1,000 cubic kilometers of ash. That ash reached from California to the Gulf of Mexico. Today, Yellowstone is still very much alive. Hundreds of earthquakes per year, gradual ground uplift, gas emissions including sulfur and carbon dioxide. The U.S. Geological Survey USGS monitors it constantly. There's no reason to panic, but it's under 24/7 surveillance. Toba, Indonesia. In Sumatra, Indonesia lies Lake Toba, calm on the surface, but with a violent past. Around 74,000 years ago, Toba erupted in one of the largest volcanic explosions in Earth's history. It ejected up to 2,800 cubic kilometers of ash, the largest eruption in the last 2 million years. Ash covered over 10 million square kilometers, reaching as far as South Asia and the Arabian Peninsula. Some theories suggest this caused a genetic bottleneck in early humans, reducing the global population to just 10,000, 20,000 people. Today, Lake Toba fills the caldera, and seismic activity still occurs beneath the surface. Campi Flegrei, Italy. Campi Flegrei, or the Phlegrean Fields, is a supervolcano lying under Naples, Italy. Its caldera is around 13 kilometers wide, with over 1 million people living nearby. About 39,000 years ago, it produced a massive eruption that spread ash across Europe. Traces are found as far as Russia. Some studies even link this eruption to the extinction of the Neanderthals. Today, the ground here rises and falls in cycles called bradyseism. Since the 1950s, the uplift has totaled nearly 1 meter. In 2023 to 2024, authorities raised the alert level due to earthquake swarms and increased gas emissions. It's considered one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Europe because it's not just geologically active, it's right beneath a city. Taupo, New Zealand. At the heart of New Zealand's North Island lies Lake Taupo, a stunning lake hiding a deadly history. About 26,500 years ago, Taupo erupted in the Orowanui event, releasing approximately 1,170 cubic kilometers of material. It was the largest eruption on Earth in the past 70,000 years. Later, in 180 CE, another eruption occurred, visible as red sunsets as far away as China. Today, the lake covers a massive caldera, and scientists observe frequent earthquakes, hydrothermal activity, gas emissions. New Zealand's GNS Science monitors the area closely. Taupo remains one of the most active volcanic zones in the Southern Hemisphere. Long Valley, USA. Lesser known but highly dangerous, Long Valley Caldera in California. It formed around 760,000 years ago, releasing over 600 cubic kilometers of ash. The ash spread across much of the western United States, found as far as Kansas. The caldera spans 32 by 17 kilometers, surrounded by fault lines and hot springs. Since the 1980s, scientists have observed uplift of the caldera floor, elevated carbon dioxide emissions, swarms of micro-earthquakes. Though not as famous as Yellowstone, USGS lists it as high priority for monitoring. Aira, Japan. Aira caldera in southern Japan is another sleeping giant. Its last super eruption occurred around 22,000 years ago. Today, the Sakurajima volcano sits inside the caldera, erupting frequently, often several times per year. The nearby city of Kagoshima has over 600,000 residents. Japanese authorities monitor Aira 24 hours a day using GPS tracking, thermal imaging, real-time gas analysis. Even partial eruptions here can have devastating effects on local populations. So what would happen if a supervolcano erupted today? If a supervolcano erupted in the 21st century, the effects could include blocked sunlight for months or years, collapse of food production in many regions, global supply chain failures, mass migration, conflicts, and economic collapse. Some models suggest that a major eruption could drop global temperatures by up to 5 degrees Celsius. It would be worse than any nuclear winter scenario. Can we predict supervolcano eruptions? We now monitor supervolcanoes using seismology, earthquakes and tremors, GPS-based ground deformation, satellite thermal imagery, gas composition readings. But even with all this tech, volcanoes are still unpredictable. They can wake up over decades, showing only subtle signs. We can observe, but we cannot yet predict exactly when.